just when you think you see something headed in a direction, probably the best for someone's, it ends up going in the opposite direction. Thus, the WWE creative. Hello, boys and girls. You are now listening, if you're on iTunes, Stitcher, Radio, SoundCloud, and Podbean, and watching if you're on YouTube, episode 46 of Peter Talks Smackdown. And I'm going to let you in behind the curtain a little bit. This is like my 5th time trying to do this goddamn intro. But I got through it because I'm Peter and I'm awesome. How y'all doing? It's a nice rainy day here. They were talking about snow in this motherfucker. And I'm like, no, the snow fucks with my money. The snow is the biggest hill I know right now. Even in my time hop, it showed up that it was snowing. So I'm just like, fuck, I don't need it to snow this weekend. But we got a little bit of a mini monsoon. So either way, we can still keep this shit moving. Because I work Thursday nights, I'm not able to catch SmackDown live. Sometimes I'm able to catch it. Depends. It really depends. The time restraints. But I caught it. I just caught it now. And normally, again, I would say at least a good 80% of Peter Talk Smackdowns or SmackDown. I mean, it's a recording of having not watched it live. And like today. But it was one that I really wanted to watch live because from the spoilers, I mean, man, dude, when it comes to spoilers, I run like the fucking plague. I mean, I run like it's the fucking plague. I get the fuck out of there. You think it was a zombie in the room. How fast I get the fuck out of there. You hear the bongos. Boom. But, if you're on social media, and everyone, basically, who doesn't have a Facebook? Who doesn't have a Twitter? Who doesn't have an Instagram? And I was lucky enough to kind of avoid SmackDown spoilers. And I swear to God, people who go to tapings and stuff, I wish you cut that shit out. They're tapings for a reason, right? I know you're excited. You want to break the news. You want to be fucking... I don't know. You want to be motherfucking... What the fuck is his name? Oh, who cares? You want to break the news. Meltzer. You want to be Dave Meltzer. But you want to break the news. You want to tell everybody ahead of time what's going on. But no, that shit's lame. Like, cut that out. And I was able to have my phone in my hand or my pad in my hand and just be like, whoa, fuck this, like, wow, the hell with that. And there was some big news on this SmackDown. I mean, I have to hand it to creative WWE and what they want to do with SmackDown on USA. They're really making it interesting. They're making it to must-watch TV. If they only made it live, that would actually send it over the top. But there were some things that went down today, went down on SmackDown this week, that were very significant. We get 2 matches going into the Royal Rumble. We find out another person in the Royal Rumble. We get 2 matches, and we get a title change. Oh, God. But we'll get there. I'm just saying, kudos for WWE for taking strides in, again, making SmackDown into something you have to watch every week. But my God, what are we watching at times is just not, it's not cool. And I'll get to the part which, how I even opened, where you think WWE is going in one direction is actually going in another. All right, we find out in the CajunDome. All right, SmackDown is in the CajunDome. This is the second week that Mauro Ranallo, I can say it right now, Mauro Ranallo is back. It's Byron Saxton, Mauro Ranallo, and Jerry the Heel King Lawler. Again, this was just like last week. a very slow intro into heel king, and by the end of the night, he's just like, "Fuck this! I'm rooting for the bad guy." Starts off slow. Hell, even just getting into the rhythm of the three of them, it took some time. You know, you could tell from the first match and the first promos that they just couldn't really get it. And I think I would say, you know, let's get through like this month. Let's get through the month of February. I would say going into WrestleMania weekend, that 3-person crew, babyface, Baron Saxton, a heel King, and a Ranallo play-by-play, it will probably be the most entertaining play-by-play the WWE has to offer. And I really say that because Morrow, his voice is so booming and he comes out with such strength. I mean, it's so amazing just to hear him call. You know, I could tell he tried to get his sports entertainment on. And he calls the moves too, you know. I think that is so great. That is crucial that he calls the moves. You know? The action kind of goes fast sometimes. And as I'm taking notes, I'm trying to get the moves down. You know, if you're watching Raw, you gotta fucking like really keep up with it. Because Cole doesn't call the moves. He's not supposed to call the moves. And that was one of the things that he even talks about in an interview, is just like, you know, I miss calling moves. Or even Matt Stryker, I think he made a comment about how, you know, one of the things that he hated working at the WWE is that he wasn't able to call the moves. And Ranallo, he's calling the moves, and maybe they're allowing him to. That's great. It sure helps me with my notes as I'm taking them, because it's like, boom, okay, that's the move that just went down. But, like, enough of the lip service. Let's get into this Raw. Again, in the CajunDome, and we find out from the top that we get a triple main event. I don't know why they have to call it a triple main event. I mean, it's 3 matches on the card. I think it's like 5 matches altogether, but like they call it a triple. I guess it's all lip service. I think it's just, okay, let's make it sound important. But there was no triple main event about this. There was one main event, and it was the U.S. I like to think that it was the U.S. match, and it should have been the last thing that went on, but they went with the tag team. You got the tables match, Dudley's versus the Wyatts, which is Rowan and Harper. The U.S. match, rematch, ADR versus Callisto, and then the final match, Neville Ambrose versus Owens and Sheamus. And the first thing you see when the show comes on is Renee Young in the back waiting for Ambrose to show up. And he's like, she's letting it known that he wants special time to address Owens. And he rolls up in like this little black truck, just sort of like just flies in there. And then he gets out. There's nothing glamorous about this at all. It's like this little like black truck. And it's so weird. And he gets out and he slams the door, and the truck proceeds to just gets the fuck gone. It like squeals out and like flies off. I'm like, who the fuck was that? Like, what? I wish they went behind the scenes. I mean, not necessarily behind the scenes, but like just backtrack a little bit. Like, was that an Uber? Was that his boy? What is the homie? What was he doing before he showed up? Like, whatever he did, it was, as much as I'm not a fan of Owens, that little thing was kind of kick-ass. And let's try to get through this fucking SmackDown. He comes out, he cuts his promo and his big announcement, and he wants Owens out there. Owens doesn't show up at first, so he calls for the drums again, and he challenges Owens at the Royal Rumble to a last man standing match. And he botches a mic. You know, I'm just like, he's talking and he fucking puts the mic down. I was like, come on, Ambrose, you're better than this. Well, anyway, after he issues the challenge, last man standing, Sheamus comes out, and this is a weird segment, because it's like, this is the sports entertainment era, and you got 2 angry men, all right? You got 2 guys. This is a combat sport. Like, this is a combat performance. Like this is a performance between two like people who want to fight, right? And like they're trying to make it believable. You got to suspend your belief that this is actually two people who hate each other and they want to fight. It didn't come off that way at all. It was just like, well, this, and you, and me. And it's like, come on, can we just get through this already? Because this is not coming off as, no one's oohing, no one's on, no one's like doing anything. Nothing significant whatsoever happens in this opening promo, other than the fact that Sheamus then announces that he will be in the Royal Rumble because he's pissed off that he has to compete in it. He just lost his belt because obviously now he cares that he's lost his belt. Then he shoots on how he's mad about how the match that him and Ambrose had on Raw, how it finished. Because if you remember, Ambrose slams his head into the fucking turnpole and busts his ass wide open. And he gets stitches. I think he gets like 6 to 8 stitches or whatnot. And he's talking about, well, I'm going to do this to you and leave a scar on you for life. Again, bad like back and forth. But, and the fact that he can't wait to fight. He's like, fuck, the main event. I want to fight you now. And then Owens comes out and he addresses the challenge that was made to him. And he's like, yeah, I'll accept it. And he didn't contribute at all to, hey, you got my belt. I hate you. I want to kick your ass. Like that. This opening segment, I would say, definitely fell flat. It had no fire. It had no fire at all. And I think that's at the fault of the WWE not letting them get out there and just let it hang out. They got to read these fucking scripts. They got to remember these scripts damn near verbatim. And like it shows. They suffer out there. They suffer like hell. I want to be like, yo, like put some fire in your ass. Say kick your ass. Like call somebody a bitch, like just something. Not that, And they both go in to try to attack Ambrose. Neville shows up as the equalizer. The baby faces stand tall. And the only thing I wanted to say about this first segment, and then I'm going to try to speed through these, through the matches, is that I don't know how many times Owens and Sheamus has been in the same area together, but between Rusev and between Sheamus, Owens has fucked both of those guys over. And even in this spot here, where it seems like Sheamus is trying to console him a little bit, and Owens is like, fuck off me, And I just thought, like, Sheamus, why don't you just kick his ass too? This guy gives two shits about you. I just find it hilarious, but they always seem to script Sheamus and or Rusev into a situation where they have to team with this guy. He's repeatedly fucked the both of them over. So, I mean, if I was Sheamus, I would be a little weary, about teaming up with him. And then the fact that he's not letting me console him a little bit. We get the first of the triple main events. We get the Dudley Boyz versus the Wyatts. And I wrote a whole bunch of shit down, and I'm just going to say this. We get sneaky heel. We get sneaky heel king. Because you could tell he's kind of revving it up a little bit, right? He's trying to rev it up. And it goes here because he's definitely speaking more on the behalf of the Wyatts rather than the Dudley Boyz. I think he even makes a point where, oh man, Bully Ray, first time Bully Ray ever outsmarted someone. So I'm like, okay, we see it. And without going into the, I guess the clicks and whistles of this match, the Dudley Boyz actually win by shoving Harper onto a table outside. Like he's about to climb back into the ring. And somehow Bubba Ray was able to get out of the way of Braun Strowman, throw Eric Rowan into some steel steps, and run over while Harper is about to get on the steel steps on the other side and push him onto a table that's set right in front of the announce booth. And you go, wow, the Dudley won. I mean, I would say, if you watch the show, the Wyatts have been beating the living shit. Not only beating the living shit out of the Dudleys, they've been beating them like just right out. And this was like the first victory, I think, since this feud has started. Again, even Team Extreme versus the Wyatt family. This is the first victory that the Dudley Boyz get. But if you've noticed, if you watch the show, anybody who gets the unexpected victory catches the beatdown. And that's what happens here. It's a numbers game. The Dudleys are out there by themselves. No Dreamer out there and no Rhino out there. It was just Strowman, Harper, and Rowan, and they beat the living shit out of the Dudley Boyz. The Harper and Rowan get up on the announce table. They sit up 2 tables side by side in front of the announce table. They clear out the announce table, stand on the announce table with Bubba Ray in their hand. So I'm thinking, man, this table's going to fucking fall from under them. I hope this shit don't fall. No, I actually hope it falls from under them because that would be fucking Botchamania gold. But they were able to hoist them up, double chokeslam through the 2 tables that were sitting below. And that's how that ends. Now, they won the battle, but they still are casualties in the war. And then you hear Bray Wyatt's voice, and that's it for that. You get Callisto in the back with JoJo. He cuts a promo about being inspired by Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio to continue. Because at first, at his size, he was like, I want to give up wrestling. And I saw those 2 kick-ass take names. And now I am the U.S. champion. For now. So, God, this clusterfuck. The Social Outcast, again, which is Bo Dallas, Adam Rose, fucking Heath Slater, and Curtis Axel. Social Outcast. Check out who they're going up against. They're going up against Zack Ryder, the returning Damian Sandow, Goldust, and Swagger. Jack Swagger. I'm speechless about this. It's just, oh my God. It's like the Jobber fucking warp open, like wormhole open, and sucked everybody into another dimension. That's what happened with this entire fucking match. It was no ends to any means in this fucker. It was just bodies flying around. And I'm not talking like, bodies flying around like a bunch of chaos, like hardcore match. It was just like, who the fuck is in the ring? What the fuck are they doing in the ring? And how the fuck is this going to end? Like, what the hell? I mean, I'm just now starting to watch Botchamania. Normally, I can't watch Botchamania because it just makes me cringe so hard to see people fuck up. I've seen like 5 episodes over the past week, right? And I would just definitely say that this entire match, because sometimes they do matches, they're doing if it's a short match, of like just them sped up. And this easily can be one of those matches just sped up, and that is the Botchamania spot. Like, this whole match was a botch. And it's a shame, too, because you got a lot of people like out there that I actually like. You got the return of Damian Sandow. Now, they could have done something better with him. They could have been or made it a point to address that he's out there. And we found out he's out there. It's said that he's out there. I think even Byron Saxton even mentioned the returning Damian Sandow. But it was like, whatever. Because the clusterfuck that it is surrounded. I mean, I love Goldust. Goldust is one of my favorite. He's my top 3 favorite motherfuckers ever. And you got Sandow, those 2 alone, right? I like Bo Dallas. I like Heath Slater. I've already spoke too much about this. I have. I really have. But it's just like, oh my God, Who sanctioned this? And whoever did agree to this, they should get fired. Seriously. There was nothing even comical. It was nothing even like it was so bad it was awesome about that. You know how something's so bad, it's awesome? Like this wasn't. This was just so bad that it made me cringe. It made me angry. Ugh. We get a Bodog onto Zack Ryder, who gets a decent little hot tag. And while Bo Dallas is doing the Bodog, Heath Slater is standing on the apron. And the Bodog is basically a running bulldog where he runs up the buckles and then, lands it. He basically kicks Slater off the apron, and that was, I guess, I don't know if that's a dissension thing or like just comic relief. Like just, hey, Three Stooges type shit. Keystone Cops type shit. But never do this again, please. I know this is SmackDown, but never, ever, ever, ever do this again, okay? We don't deserve this, okay, as fans. We're watching the show. You want us to watch it on SmackDown. You really do want us to watch this shit. Right? Shit like this, say like, fuck USA, fuck SmackDown. I don't even know why I gave this shit a chance in the first place. That's what that is. I swear to God. Maybe 100,000 people said, you know what? I'm never meant, fuck this. That's how bad that was. Oh, God. Okay. I digress. Deep breath. Deep breaths. All right. We got a Cena update. Dr. Dugist. And then we get ADR Alberto Del Rio back with Young, and again, he's upset. He's more upset about losing the US belt than Sheamus is losing the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And he wants to squash that mosquito, Callisto. Yeah. And then we get the match, and it's the US Challenge. It's a U.S. Championship match between ADR, rematch. Callisto. Callisto's had that belt for a day. One fucking day. They aired this shit on Thursday, but this is shot on Tuesday. And it is just a U.S. belt, so I need to pump the brakes a little bit. But come on. This is he gets, not your breakout, that's Neville, but the oh my God moment of the year. It's the guy who's supposed to be the heir apparent to Rey Mysterio. I mean, come on, get out there. His flurry of offense is awesome. His hot tags are awesome. He can speak English really well. I mean, kids love him, I bet, man. Like, and I throw him that bone, in the sports entertainment realm. Now, he's no Rey Mysterio. Nobody's no Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is Rey Mysterio, and what he was able to accomplish is something that is, it can never be duplicated. You can only maybe possibly follow up and create your own legacy. But I give him that also. Like I give Rey Mysterio that, like, dude, sell those masks, get the kids out there. This is awesome. Sell that product. And that's what I see with Callisto. You give him the U.S. belt. The U.S. belt don't mean shit. Okay, it met. And then people are like, oh, yeah, but Cena. No. It was only about Cena. It was always about Cena, okay? It was not about that belt, please. But you know what? It had a chance to be something. I know we see this. You've heard this song and dance a million times. It could have been something. Just throw the kid a bone. Throw the kid a bone. That could have been something for him. One day? One fucking day. One day. You give him a 1 day reign of a belt that means crap. What does that say about fucking Callisto? Who has creative control over SmackDown? Is that Vince or is that done? I mean, who the fuck has creative control over fucking SmackDown to make that decision? Because obviously Raw is Vince. He pulled the trigger and said, you know what? We're going to give Callisto this fucking belt and possibly, just possibly make ADR, move him up the fucking totem pole a little bit so he's as much of a threat, you know, with no other belt, you know, around him. A threat to the WWE. He's won the Royal Rumble. He won the 40-man Royal Rumble. And he's a multi-time World Heavyweight Championship. So, damn it, he's definitely somebody with merit. Losing that U.S. belt, going into that fucking Royal Rumble, and possibly being in the Final Four. Being a dark horse. Hell, being the Final Two. Hell, even winning it again. Dropping that U.S. belt only means that whoever fuck drops the belt moves up the fucking ladder. And we've seen this. We know this. This is, you watch the show. That's what it means. And they give Callisto the rub. Last Thursday, he get the victory over ADR with Cena giving him the rub. Right? He goes to Raw and he wins the belt. Right? Now, okay, he wins the belt. ADR can go on his merry way and go into the fucking Royal Rumble. And fucking Callisto can hold on to this belt. And just be like, yes, you know, in the spirit of Rey Mysterio, in the spirit of Eddie Guerrero, I'm the new underdog. I am a champion, and I will serve you proud as champion. No. Because, say it with me, kids, we watch this show. So I can go into any and all things because I feel like I've read it enough to even not even go into this match. You know, like whatever. The only thing that really stands out is that King is clearly heel on this. He's clearly heel. He's like, he starts it off. I hate short people. And then when they come back and he's doing the lucha, stop with the lucha. I'm tired already. And then it's like, is he ready? He better be ready because he's about to get the beat down, right? And that's basically solidifying that so far into this shit because that whole jobbers plural spot that happened, I don't even think King even said anything. I think he said just a bunch of dumb punchlines, but he leaned in heel on this motherfucker, right? Which even gives that much more rub to Callisto to fight against the odds. Now he has someone picking on his side, and that it's being subliminally put in your mind that this little fuck doesn't stand a chance. He catches the beat down the entire fucking match. And there's flurries of offense here and there, but like at the very fucking end, he breaks out of an arm breaker, right? With his foot on the ropes. Wade Barrett shows up out of no fucking where. Like, what? I was like, Wade Barrett? The fuck? He distracts, armbar, leg on the rope, then he fucking, oh my God. He distracts again, which leads to another armbar where that's what it was. He dives, he does a suicide dive, and Wade Barrett moves ADR out the fucking way. With crash and burn. I mean, it looked pretty bad. He hit floor pretty fucking hard. And he gets him in there, puts him back in the armbar. He taps out! Callisto loses the United States belt back to Alberto Del Rio after 1 day. And I say 1 day because they tape Tuesdays. Not since fucking Christian winning the big gold and losing it on SmackDown have I been more pissed off at a change, at a title change like this. I've never seen this. I never saw this coming, and I'd be damned if I saw it coming with not only this, but me feeling this way about a secondary belt. This is not even a secondary belt. This is like a third, fourth, fifth down the totem pole belt. This is a WCW belt. that means worth a fuck to this company outside of the John Cena U.S. Open Challenge. And again, it wasn't about that belt. You got Callisto, man. Callisto. You take anybody. You take any darling you want. You can take Zack Ryder. You can take fucking Wade Barrett. You can take fucking Sandow. You could take any of those guys, man. You could screw them over like that. And you know what? I'm over it because I know that there's no upside to those guys in the company's eyes. None. None of them. They were all out there just a second ago fucking looking like the goddamn Keystone Cops. You could have Benny Hill's music playing in the background. Fuck those wacky fucks. Callisto has promise, man. NXT tag team champion with Sin Cara. Sin Cara gets injured, unfortunately, but fortunately for the rise of a singles Callisto. He gets the belt. He has that odds stacked against him. He beat the guy that beat John Cena for the belt. They got this storyline that he's the little guy and he's about to be the next Rey Mysterio. He's talking about Eddie Guerrero being his fucking inspiration. And what do? You fucking kill it. And again, I wouldn't be this upset because this is not like mark out like, oh, look, my favorite wrestler's not getting his way. This is not about my favorite wrestler getting his way. I'm supporting this guy because I think for the WWE to create new stars, he is needed to become that star in that vein. Sell those masks. Get those kids out there. Have that kid do a Make-A-Wishes. This guy has star written all over him. And yeah, I get it, he's young. Then don't fucking feed us this dumb shit. Don't give us this thing where there's a chance that he could actually be your next big star. You fucking undercut him. I can't take him serious no more. He's done. In my eyes, he's done. There's no redemption from this. WWE, you have stunted this kid's growth. You have stunted this kid's growth, and it's not fair. It's not fucking fair. You can bring in AJ Styles and you can fuck him all you want. You can bring in Nakamura and fuck him all you want. Because you know what? Those guys have already had amazing careers. They've seen the mountaintop. They haven't seen the WWE mountaintop, but they've seen the mountaintop. They've held world championships and fought the best talent on the planet. So if they come into this motherfucker, right? And if, you know, all of a sudden they get their whole shit spoiled. Like they just fuck them up. You know what? So fucking what? Honestly. This kid though, this Callisto kid, never had a chance. Never had a chance. He's never seen the mountaintop. Hell, he hasn't even seen the valley. And that little glimpse of hope, that little bitty glimpse of hope, to the idea that, oh, look, the WWE is about to create a new star outside of Roman Reigns. Outside the mini push they're giving to fucking Kevin Owens. In terms of new stars, Callisto, man, that's your guy. No. WWE, fuck you. And I speak on behalf of the Callisto family. I speak on behalf of the wrestling fan that just wants someone to root for organically. Not somebody you force feed down our fucking throats like a Roman Reigns, like a John Cena. It's bullshit. This kid deserves better. And giving him that belt was probably the greatest thing that could have ever happened in his career. It was the greatest thing that happened in his career. And you give him one fucking day. I didn't even think I was going to rant about this. I thought I was just going to let it go. Honestly, seriously, if you're listening right now, you watching this, I didn't know I was going to go that deep into it. And we got some dude, I don't know who you are. Hey, what's up, dude? Muhammad Akbar, whatever the fuck your name is. You've been, you called me an asshole, showing that I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. And then last week you were like, why are you so sad? It's like, dude, because I saw something happening. right? And now today I am pissed off. Now you know how I really feel, Mohammed. That was bullshit. This guy, they refuse to create new stars. They just flat out refuse. So fuck you, WWE. Fuck you for that, man. Fuck you. And look at me. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm gonna continue to watch the fucking product. God damn it, man. You make them tap out. Becky Lynch in the back with Young. Cool down. Becky Lynch in the back with Young. And she's basically, they show clips of her getting beat down by Charlotte Flair. And then they show the clip of her getting revenge. And Becky Lynch, we find out here too. So this is like the third announcement. That Becky Lynch is, on top of Sheamus is in the Royal Rumble, we get the Last Man Standing challenge for the IC belt. And now we get a Divas match at the Royal Rumble. She issues a challenge for the Rumble. And I wrote this down, all my notes. Becky Lynch easily is becoming the most liked diva on the roster. She's going to organically come up. You know, when Paige cut that promo on her about how she was the least relevant, that's been her storyline. Trying to fight fair. Trying to do things the right way. She's in this feud with Charlotte, and she's coming off like a champ because she's her work rate in the ring is pretty awesome. Her promos are probably is at this time the best in the company. There's no one person that's cutting a better promo than Becky Lynch right now. And it's because she's passionate. Like, that's what she's doing right now. That's her role, that she's a passionate fighter. She has the fighting spirit. And regardless of who she's around or who she considers friends, it could be 3 against 1, it could be 2 against 1, it could be, an actual male tripping her up, costing her matches. But her fighting spirit is strong. And that's what you need. But let's just hope that people deciding on what they're going to do with Becky Lynch and possibly making her, her intro, her music, the steam, her gimmick, everything works. But just make sure that who's ever booking her is not the same motherfucker that's booking Callisto, okay? That's all I'm saying. And we get Brie Mode. Yeah, I got to do that. Just like Neville. It's like, baby. People still love Brie Bella. The Bellas are over like fucking hot fries. And it's hard to believe that they're still as hot as they are. Just people love the Bellas. And it's as much as Lynch is trying to get over as, I guess, the big baby face, it's still Brie Bella. Even at heel, the crowd loves her. Becky's trying to get moves in, and the crowd's not reacting because they want to see Brie Bella do well. But that's just how it is, I guess. Brie taps to the disarmor, and nothing much of that. And we get to the main event that I gave a living fuck about. I just wanted it to be over. I can't tell you what happened. I think it's just something about Sheamus and Ambrose in the same ring that just makes me tune out. And even though there's Neville there, I looked up when I found out he was in the ring just to see him do something different. Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose doesn't bring the best out of Kevin Owens, so this was like a super stale match, just a super, super stale match. Before the match even starts, it's official. I guess they inked it up in the back that the IC Last Man Standing match will be happening at the Royal Rumble, which sucks because I wanted it to be a 3-way because the whole storyline with Owens and Neville. And I was completely convinced that we were going to get this epic triple threat. And I'm so against triple threats. Everything triple that deals with wrestling. Triple H, triple threat. Just fuck them. But I would have greatly enjoyed a triple threat of Neville, Owens, and Ambrose. Only because Neville is in it to sort of stir things up. You're not going to get anything special out of this match. It's the same old Dean Ambrose match, the same damn Dean Ambrose match versus Kevin Owens. I can't wait till Kevin Owens leaves that fucking match, this damn feud, and challenge someone that actually brings out the fucking fight in Kevin Owens. Dean Ambrose, you's a stale motherfucker, man. Stale. I could go up to a open bag of fucking cheese puffs for a week. The bag of cheese puffs had been open for a week. And I could take a bite, and Dean Ambrose is more stale than that fucking cheese puff that I just bit into that's been open in a bag for a fucking week. Hell, you make that sumbitch as if I just opened that fucking cheese puff bag. That's how fucking stale you are, Dean Ambrose. You and your goddamn fucked up hairline. You better get your fucking patch on. You might want to go talk to the fucking hair clinic for men. Alright? Go get that plug in there. Because as long as you got that fucking plug, that you got that fucking comb over, I'm completely distracted. It makes me not want to look at your ass even more. I had a little shit going on. I used to have dreadlocks down my ass. Anyone who's seen this, looking at this now, I used to have dreadlocks, man. You wouldn't believe it. Like, down to, like, my waist. I started growing like a little motherfucking island right at the top of my shit. Like a little island. Like, it looked like it's like if you were, like, Pebble Beach or something, and it's like the green is here, and then you got, like, the fucking... you have the green, and then you have like the putting area right here. That's what was happening right here. You know what I did? I cut this shit off. You know what I'm saying? I took a fucking blade, clippers, and I took all that shit off. Because I would much rather go bald than try to like put some transplant shit in here, and plus I don't have the money to be able to do so. But Ambrose and Owens is going to be my bathroom break at the fucking Royal Rumble. That's the point I was making. Now that there's no Neville in there, at least to emphasize the fucking the feud that they have, it's not even worth it. But this match, whatever, ends in DQ, and it looks like the heel's about to fucking beat the shit out of him. DQ, I don't even care. At the end, we get the dirty deeds on Kevin Owens, and we get the red arrow on top of on Kevin Owens as well, and that's how the show fucking ends. And I'm gonna end it like this. You've heard my rant. Again, this is not a bad show. It was worth watching, and kudos to Jerry King Lawler for amping up his heel presence. Kudos to Morrow. And, again, it's going to take time for that chemistry between the three of them to sort of get it going. Kudos to Becky Lynch because she's getting the decent punch. She's looking good. Just whatever. Outside of that opening segment, you know what? It's a C. I mean, I feel like this show is about as good as this week's Raw. And, I'm so indifferent over the past 3 weeks, so indifferent about the product and just having faith that they're moving forward and doing something that's worth a damn. And this fucking Callisto decision, man, it drives me crazy. This is like a D show, man. This is like a D minus just for that. Just for that. And that fucking clusterfuck, that jobber wormhole that I fell into. And this, this show sucked. How about that? Just Listen to Morrow was the only thing worthwhile, and heel king. That's the only thing really worthwhile in this. Yeah, this show sucked. God damn it. I'm pointing on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm hitting the subscription button below. I'm not pointing at my junk. My junk wouldn't be over here. It would be here. But the subscription button isn't here. My junk is here. The subscription button is here, not my junk. Subscribe. And if you're listening again on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podbean, throw me in your favorites. We got Peter It's PJTW Central, y'all. It's on Monday. We get the New Day podcast, episode 19. This Monday, okay? Martin Luther King's birthday. We have Raw recap. Peter's Raw recap at the end of every Raw. We got Peter and Jake talks wrestling. Oh, yeah. We got Peter talks sports. That's very new. We'll be coming with episode 4. Talking about the NFL playoffs and coach exchanges and maybe a little bit of NBA. Peter and Jake talks wrestling on Wednesday. My homie Jake from Facet of the World podcast. JG Pro Wrestling is his handle, so go check him out. Oh yeah, and plus the New Day podcast is me and Nathan Newman of Eyes on the Ring Radio, the Elite podcast. You can check them out on Stitcher. And then we have this, Peter Talks Smackdown. And then every once in a while you get a Peter special where I discuss something. And I want to discuss something, and I'll probably do it Saturday. What's today, Friday? I'll probably do it Sunday then. All right? I want to talk about Tyler Breeze, and I want to talk about the incoming talent from New Japan. And finally, I talked about it then, in the whole Callisto rant. But there's more things that I would like to talk about. And I promise, just like any other thing, I've always gone back on my promise, and maybe that's my fault because I'm a slack ass. But I promise you, I will give you a video about this so you know how I completely feel about this moving forward, okay? So, PJTW Central, that's on Twitter. Leave a comment below. Hit the like button, hit the heart button, hit the thumbs up. That shows that we're worth watching. I'm worth watching. And the best thing you can do is share. Just share. Put it on your Facebook. Put it on your Twitter. Put it on your Tumblr. Do anything you want. That's definitely to help because, again, this is a labor of love. I kick out a lot of money, put out a lot of time to do these. And I'm not asking for any money. I just want more people to have the conversation with me. So, I apologize for the rant. Maybe that was something that was entertaining to you. I ran way later than I normally do because I'm normally done with these around like 35 minutes. But that segment in itself is just something I had to get off my chest. It was, as I talk more about it, I had to get off my chest. So, I guess more rants coming soon. More heel promos coming soon. And until then, thank you so much for checking this out. Episode 46. Watch out for those foreign objects, y'all. See you Sunday. Peace.